Good morning, and it is autumn and it is Letting Go month, our free online challenge. So I thought I better jump on. It's been a pretty busy time, as you may have noticed if you follow us. We've had loads of things going on. We had a very exciting weekend there where the road to the farm flooded, and then we had a power cut. So all these little challenges, especially when people that were coming to join us at the farm were from the vaccine injured group. So it was a real good test for me on letting go. So anyway, it was I always learn tons at these weekends. I learned what really stood out to me this time was the people that come on these retreats are very well educated on that specific issue, which is the spike proteins and what are they doing and what's it going to mean long term. All the, there's POTS, there's MCAS, there's vertigo, there's neuropathy, myocarditis, pericarditis. There's all these symptoms and labels that we have around what the body's doing. And obviously a lot of fear around what's going to happen in the future. And, it really struck me. It's really not any different than what I do on a daily basis, which is usually helping people that have been diagnosed terminal or incurable, and usually people that come to me have tried all the allopathic drugs and they've either not worked or they've made them much worse. So really, when I was talking to the guys there, two things really struck me. One, you're in the minority if you're out there trying these things on yourself, because there's actually no help at the normal point of contact, which is the GP surgery. And even when you go to hospital and you see specialists, the tests come back fine and you're anything but fine. Can't breathe properly. You can feel your heart going up, numbness in the legs, dizziness, all that stuff, which is very similar when people have had a lot of cancer treatment or a lot of other drugs, sometimes antibiotics, antidepressants. Every one of these pharmaceutical drugs is causing an effect in the body, and not always the effect that we want. Anyway, that's not why I'm on to talk to you, but I had a really amazing weekend, despite people having to do a detour for hours. Alex Mitchell, who had his leg amputated, he never arrived. He left home at 11 on the Friday and arrived at Parmall at 1 on the Saturday. Got lost, all the trees were down, and some kind person put them in a lodge at the loch and let them stay for the night. So yeah, they're always under these conditions. Somebody shows incredible kindness. It makes your heart open. So it's all about the heart, as we know. I have been, for those of you who don't know, obsessed with the heart. I'm excited to start Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden's new course, because you're always wanting to learn as much as you possibly can, because I have the time and the passion and the commitment to this work, and then I can feed it back to you, the kind of key points much more easily than if you're busy and you don't have the time to study this stuff, or it's a bit over your head or whatever. I can come in and give you the highlights, if you like. So letting go, as you know, what we're doing, the way I'm seeing it now, and again, a huge thanks to everybody that came at the weekend, because I really get to see I've been down this rabbit hole with Big Pharma for 35 years. And so I can't believe that anybody still goes there thinking it's going to fix them. But that's all we have on offer right now. The only thing that we have on offer, you get unwell, where do you go? I mean, I would go to Emma Vaughan up the Glen, or I would take matters into my own hands, or I would never go to the doctor, not unless I felt I needed an operation, which I really hope that never happens. I would go to Claire, I would get plants, I would get herbs, I would deal with it myself with all the knowledge that I have. And I have people that I would reach out to Giovanna Franklin being another one with homeopathy. And I know there's lots of other great people. This is just the people that I know that are in my circle that I would trust with my life. But so we're looking at, from the Heal Scotland perspective to create a place where you can get access all that amazing information, where you genuinely, they will do no harm. The worst that could ever happen is nothing. You're not going to cause another disease or another issue down the line. So, but a big part of that is letting go. Letting go of the belief that you need drugs to stay alive, because that's what became really obvious to me. It was like, what a phenomenal story we've been fed. If you don't take this, you'll die. And you need to take it for the rest of your life. I was like, oh God, I hadn't really thought about that. And now we're doing it with vitamins. We do these tests. Oh, you've not got enough of this, and here we can sell you this. And it's a very flawed model, to say the least, and one that we really need to unhook, but always we have to feel safe in the choices that we're making. And if you heard our cancer talk, you would see all the different ways that these women approached the issue of their health. And Shirley's daughter Danielle, who said, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die on my terms, not Big Pharma's. And that's only really now really resonating to me how wise that girl was, because are we choosing things? What are we thinking about the quality of any time we have left? And really, really making informed consent, which when you start putting any pill into your mouth, and plants are powerful too, you're going to cause an effect. And is that the effect that you want to cause? And are you willing to let go of the limiting beliefs around the body? And also, if you have a faith, do you think a creator would have made it that this body couldn't survive on this planet without drugs? I just can't understand that. But anyway, that's me living in my own wee world. So let's look at what we're willing to let go of, because being brave enough to dare that you can heal. And there's a lot of horrible stories going around about what could happen if you've taken the vaccine. And it's more fear to then guess what happens? Yeah, more drugs to help you with that fear. Take this, and you'll never have a heart attack. Take this, and you'll not have a stroke. Take this. Oh my God. Yeah, it just shows you what we can, with our trust in the experts, what the road that we have gone down in terms of what we believe this body that made itself needs in order to be vibrant and alive. Now, what are you prepared? What is it you want? There's always two things. And, and this is what's great about coming on a retreat. You come on a retreat and I will absolutely nail right into what it is that you need. That's the joy of being in the retreat. Claire and I are both very, very direct and very passionate about what we do, and we can really, really help you to understand you, or to start the process. What do you need? So if, for example, the Healing Centre, the Healing Oasis that I've been banging on about for years, a place where there's choice, a place where there's other people who have tried things that you can talk to, genuinely people who have been injured by Big Pharma, can talk to other people about that. What did you do? What did you try? Here's the latest research. So, it's the community of people. One, hope. Two, you're willing to have a go. You're not waiting for somebody to measure it and then feed it back to you. This will work, because we're all different. Three, faith in the body. And so when I'm looking at that Healing Oasis, and I can see it clearly, and it's coming fast and furious, what do I need to let go of? Well, I need to let go of wondering how it's all going to get paid for. That's the big thing, isn't it? How are we going to serve? Because energy medicine is the medicine of the future. People are waking up and remembering and choosing different ways. Maybe you've watched somebody you love go through a treatment, and you're now like, that, I don't want that. I'm going to look at other potentials. And it's only the brave. Is this a niche market right now that are standing up and going, I'm not doing that, I'm going to do this. And that annoys people. Like, that's the way, you've got to do it this way, you've got to do it this way. This is the way the doctor said, the expert said. And I think we saw during COVID that, well, what happened? So what are we willing to let go of? Letting go of that feeling of the NHS, which is crumbling in front of us. That system where we would turn up before and we felt completely safe. We're now letting that go. Are we safe? And it's not a nice feeling. So we have to hold hands with the old while we create the new, so that you can feel safe. Because if your nervous system and your fascia are all shot to hell, it doesn't really matter what medicine you take. You're not going to heal, or it's going to take a lot longer. So the incredible stuff that we're learning about the body now, about the fascia, about the nervous system, about unfurling the fear. Are you scared of your body? What's it doing? What does that mean? And then everything you've read online, all the stories you've been told, you start filtering your perception through that. And it's always through fear, because if you weren't scared, you wouldn't take any of that stuff. Simple as, if you had a strong faith in a creator that created this unbelievable body, or even a big bang, I don't know how you think we came about. I don't think it matters. I think we're all getting a wee bit woken up to there's something way, 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 way smarter than us, way more intelligent than us. And how do we tune into that? And there's nobody in my mind that does it more incredibly than Joe Dispenza, because he is absolutely pedantic about his research, because he knows people are going to come out and ridicule him, because you're literally going up against big pharma, big karma. So people don't want that. I don't know why. Don't know why you would hold hands with, you wouldn't just go, oh, if that works and that works, let me just do both. But it's like, it's got to be them or us, this or that, black and white. And it hasn't. You can do whatever you want. And really, for your body, the only person that knows what's right for it is you. So how do we let go of the fear of the body? What's it doing? What does that mean? Sylvia, the healing process, and I keep meeting people that want the same. Yes, absolutely. It's a movement that we all need, Sylvia. Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to participate in the new way, it's not even new. It's old. But it's different, and it's not currently available in the NHS, although I know some brilliant GPs who are now doing lifestyle prescriptions. And that's great. And sometimes if a GP says it, people are more likely to believe it, which is also great. I have no problem with that. But also, I know GPs that are saying people don't trust them anymore either. Who do you trust? You've got to go inside into the cells. A big part of that trust is letting go of all the limiting beliefs that you are carrying around. And from the Theta Healing, Viana's the girl's name. If you're not healing, it's because of the beliefs. And these beliefs have been given to you by the most outdated model of physics. I mean, it's embarrassing how far behind we are now, because we're in the grips of this evil entity called pharmaceutical companies, where they don't let anything else in. The BBC, they propagate the whole narrative, and none of this information that you can get. We can heal for free. I absolutely know that. You just get back into nature, get into the trees, get into the light, get into the food. Your body will rebalance, and quite surprisingly quickly, but most of us are not in that position to do that. I was at Barmoloch at the weekend, and I'm just like cutting about, picking the veggies, feeling that sense of peace, because my body knows this is where you're meant to be. This is how it's done. It's not rocket science. We've made it so complicated. Everything's a competition. Everything's getting compared, instead of going, actually, your body knows everything about you. It knows what to do when we change the internal and the external environment. So what do we need to let go of? Because if you don't have something to replace your treatment with, and we are human doings. In the West, we like to be doing things. So what are you not prepared to let go of? And, I've worked with a lot of people coming off antidepressants. Antidepressants are psychologically addictive. That's all I've ever seen, because I'll have them in my handbag and I'll feel safe. And I do this in my love tuner now. I just hold on to this and I can feel the change. So I get that. It's your wee talisman, your wee mascot, your wee anchor for security. But it's been very honest about these beliefs and taking the time. And if you've got, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not safe, I'm not enough. If you've got all these limiting beliefs in your subconscious, how do you get rid of them? And I'm going to be doing more of this stuff during the week, during the month. I'm going to Loch Tay for a lovely, restful few days to recalibrate, and I'll have time to jump on and pass on more magical letting go techniques. So, but recalibrate with nature. Just go in and sit in the canopy of the trees and breathe, smell, listen. You don't need an expert. You do not need an expert. Your body made itself without you. It knows what to do. The blueprint for harmony is there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little tap around your beliefs and your trust in this thing. Can you trust it to heal itself? Do you have time? Am I doing enough? All the stuff, and I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so confused, and oh yeah, you can heal that, but you can't heal that. Oh, it's all right for you. It's all cynicism. If you can, come to the festival this weekend. You'll Claire and I, this is Claire's first festival. Come and meet Claire, myself. I'm not going to name all the presenters because they're all brilliant. Natalie Gilray will be there though with the laughter yoga. It's the only time I've ever done it. I've actually genuinely laughed. She is brilliant. How that boosts our immune system. We've been making it so complicated. Measuring everything. That's low, that's high, this is it. Nah. Think frequency. Get yourself onto the right frequency and the body does it all for you. One thing to do. Instead of about 300 protocols, which I've been teaching in the past, now I'm like that. No, we're over that. We're going to frequency. We're going to vibration. One thing to do. I'm not saying it's always easy. And your nutrition and your breath work and your all the other stuff that we talk about, your coffee enemas, your juicing, all of that will help you stay there. But you, with your power of your incredible mind, can do this. You can get into this loving state. So let's just tune in. Tune in. Feel that in your heart. Invite love. Visualize the yellow-green colour. You are choosing, okay? No longer being a victim of the past and the body, what it's chucking up. You are taking back your power. One more. So get your focus in your heart. Invite love. Tune up, tune in. You get the drift. So you can feel that very, very quickly. 5 minutes in this baby every day. Everything's going to change. Morning, Lou. Thank you. So we're going to tap round on this limiting belief and this idea, this addiction to the allopathic system that you need things that are man-made to stay alive instead of the belief that nature has provided everything that we could need and more. And yeah, if you have a strong faith in God, and we're doing that talk as well at the end of this month, how does that, I don't know how that aligns. You believe in God, but you also believe in Big Pharma. Can these two things be aligned? Tell me your thoughts. It's a genuine question. I'm not trying to piss people off, honestly. I'm just genuinely interested and intrigued that you would think that it's not already all been provided for us, that they would create, if there was a God, that he or she would create a place that you needed to pay to get well. Anyway, let me know what you think. So let's just tap round on this. Even although I have limiting beliefs around my body, keep breathing, keep tapping, I have believed that it cannot heal itself, or that it cannot rejuvenate, cannot restore and repair. I have believed that I needed external help from experts in order to rebalance and heal. Even although I have given my power away to the apparent others around what this body needs, I have believed stories that they've given me about it. I have taken on other people's points of view that were very negative around my body. And I believed that I needed drugs and surgery in order to be happy, healthy, and free. That was the model that I believed in. But even although I've been believing things that maybe weren't true, maybe they were, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Feel. What can you feel in there? Your body's talking to you. Even though I gave my power away to somebody who doesn't even know me, who knows nothing about my life, my past, my traumas, my family setup, even though I've let other people tell me my destiny, my fate, and even although that has not made me feel happy and hopeful, I deeply and completely love, trust, and accept myself. Keep breathing, keep tapping. And I'm now open to tuning in to the innate intelligence that created this body. I'm listening to my heart. I'm asking the right questions. What would it take for me to be completely healthy and happy? How does it get easier than this? What would it take for me to elevate beyond suffering? I'm tuning in to the innate intelligence within. I'm letting go of other people's limiting beliefs. I allow myself to hope. What if I can heal? What if I was being told things that simply were based on an outdated model of physics? What if the so-called experts are living in the past, giving me false information? What if the truth is way more exciting? What if I was a powerful, spiritual, energy being of unlimited potential? What if I drive this baby? I'm at the helm, and I can change its vibration, its frequency, its destiny by what I think, feel, believe, and perceive. What if I'm way more powerful than I ever dreamed or imagined? What if my cynicism and negativity makes me sick? Can I let that go? I am remembering, I am waking up to the power within. The blueprint for perfect health and harmony exists in the field. It is safe for me to believe I can heal. I am in the process of remembering and understanding the innate intelligence within. I am the power. I am the alchemist. I am the medicine. Healing is a potential in the field. Feeling love can be created from within. I am free to choose how I feel. I am letting go of the control the body and the past has had over me. I release all my triggers, all my automatic reactions to bullshit. I am a powerful energy being, and I choose and I decide. Deep breath. Okay, how does that feel? Please feed back to me. If you are ready, if you're starting to think, that makes more sense. You may not. You may think she's a lunatic. We need drugs. We need surgery. You don't want to go cutting the body open unless you absolutely have to. And sometimes you have to. I'm not saying you don't. But there's so much healing that we can do ourselves when we really understand this stuff, that everything you think, feel, believe, do, say, perceive, and believe is having an impact on your health. And it is essential to get this information out if you want to truly heal, if you want to move away from the draconian idea that all we are is a big lump of meat. Because we're not. We're energetic. We're connected to different data streams of information. Feels so natural. Thanks, Sylvia. Yeah, let me know how you feel. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're triggered by this stuff. What is it? I'm happy to have debates around this. When people come to me, it's usually because they've been given no hope. That's not always the case. Some people come because they're really interested in bioresonance and they want to get in before the body actually does become sick and they want to learn what to do. That is definitely a growth market. We are moving from that dependent, narcissistic relationship that we've had with people, egotistical people who tell you, who live in this thing, what is wrong with you. So even if it is, you have a tumour, you have a lump, where did that come from and why is it there? What is the body communicating to you? And it communicates through sights, sounds, and sensations, feelings. And arguably, German New Medicine, Roger Hamer's work, it's all coming from an emotional standpoint. These are the straws that break the camel's back. Your immune system is incredible. Your body is magnificent beyond your wildest imagination. And we've forgotten that. And we've handed our power away and we want to be fixed. I would like if somebody could fix me too. But when you truly understand the energetic nature of the body and that it's an intelligent communication system, you realise that you can fix yourself. And that's a massive shift in consciousness and understanding. And it's also a responsibility that some people just simply are not ready and able to make at this stage. But this stuff, you learn this stuff when you don't need it. Then if the body starts knocking, which it will, then you're like, okay, I need to pay attention to this animal. What do you need? What do you need? The way you would ask a child, what is it you need? What's wrong? It's a new relationship with the body. The only you can do, only you can meditate it, only you can believe in it. There's no pill, there is no expert that can help you with this. It comes from faith, a deep faith, beyond faith, a deep knowing about you, who you are in this universe. That's what it's about, where you know how intelligent and how powerful you are. Why is that so difficult to believe? I don't know. Anyway, that's enough from me. Preventing is better, in my opinion. Fears and resentment take hold. I feel it. Yeah, exactly. I totally agree, Sylvia. Preventing is better, but the reality is most of us wait until we get a much, much louder knock. And I include myself in that. When I got postmenopausal arthritis, I had an achy shoulder, which I ignored until it started waking me up through the night. And I thought, why did you not deal with that when it was just a wee ache now and again? You waited until it was a pain, real pain, that woke you up. Isn't that interesting why we do that instead of going, oh, there's an ache there? You need to alkalise your diet. You need to do some letting go. You need to get some juice in. You need to do whatever you need to do. Breath work. You need to let go of the past. All of that stuff that works, that we know works, we've got solid data behind. But maybe the most important information that you need to understand is that you predict your future. And never let anybody, including an oncologist, predict your future. Never give your power away to that degree. And on that lovely note, I will end. Have a wonderful day and week, and I will talk to you all soon.